I myself, I'm a part of Gen Z. I think Gen Z is from 1997 till 2013, if I'm not wrong, right? So after that, it's Gen Alpha. So myself being a part of Gen Z, it's going to be a very natural conversation between you and me. And whatever I've been through so far, I'm going to share all these experiences. And it's not something like a advice from me. And nobody thought that a person with coordination issues, hand and mind coordination issues, will end up on a stage like TEDx. Because I've been dealing with it from my childhood and I'm still dealing with it. And when I say like I'm a content creator and I'm a speaker, nobody believes that. Even I can't believe that because I've been dealing with it all my life. So before I begin, I would like to talk about someone really important to me. My dad, Mr. Sampathkumar. This is my dad and this was me back in my school. Even before I believed in myself, my dad believed that I belong on a stage. Like even if he finds a random newspaper or a random pamphlet lying around, he'll take it, he'll give it to me and he'll ask me to read it out loud. That's how much he wanted me to be on a stage. Back then, I seriously did not understand it. Like, why did he do so much? And why is he making me read all these stuff? But now standing on this particular stage, I totally understand why he did that. And even for the smallest of participations, like a random thought for the day that I used to perform in my school assembly, he'll travel all the way to my school. Like he'll take he'll take a leave from his work and he'll come. He'll be standing somewhere in the crowd. And that's how much he wanted me to be on a stage. But now today, he is no more. He's not with me. But you know, if he was there right now, he would have been the proudest person in this entire universe. And Dad, wherever you are, this is for you and this is for us. And it's a win. So, moving forward, I'd like to give a quick introduction about what I'm doing. Though she mentioned it, I'd like to give, I'd like to talk about it again. Because if I can do so much, anybody can. So that's why I'm going to give a quick introduction of what I'm up to in my life. So basically, I am a content creator and I'm currently pursuing my doctorate in business administration. And I'm also a co-author of a published book. I love writing. Writing is like something which I'm very much fond of. It's like a medium for me. Whenever I can't talk, I write. Like I'm not well versed with it, but I sort of enjoy personal narrative storytelling. And I've written a lot of short quotes in Tamil and English. And I'm also the co-founder of an e-commerce retail storefront. And I'm also working on a new venture. It's a startup. The initial works are like underway. It's going on. And whenever I tell all these things to people, they usually ask me, why do you do so much? Why there's so much on your plate? Why so much of drama? They ask me this. But back then when I was broken, like personally, professionally, financially, I just had two options in front of me, okay? One is to stay broken and the other one is to take the hustle path. I could have stayed broken, I could have blamed all my situations and I could have made excuses about them because mine were literally terrible. So I could have done that, I could have comfortably stayed there. But most of us here, we do not even have the privilege of staying broken. Whatever happens, you have to get up, you have to brush it off and you have to go, you have to show up, you have to work. Because that's the reality of most of our lives. Most of our lives are designed like that. So I had no other option. So I just took the hustle path, I did whatever came my way. I did everything and anything and here I am. Remember this particular thing anywhere you go in your life, okay? Whenever there's pressure around you, whenever there's pressure, do not try to complain the pressure. Do not try to make excuses around the pressure. Do not say, oh my God, my life is so hard, my life is pressuring and all those things. No. Whenever there's pressure, you convert that pressure into energy, and when you channelize all of that energy into your goals and into your ambition, it's going to give you 10x more efforts. Like it's going to make you work like crazy, and it's going to take you to unimaginable places, I'm telling you. So the next time there is pressure around you, you consider that as a privilege and you convert it into energy, and then you direct it. I think you'll remember this and you can etch this in your minds. And when I heard about the topic for the first time, I badly wanted to come here and share a piece of my mind, because when I wanted to transition from a corporate role into an entrepreneurial role, there was this thing going on in the landscapes of leadership parallelly. There was a transition happening. There was a shift happening, like the digital era came in when I wanted to move from a 9 to 5 into corporate, into entrepreneurial roles. So I made the best use of it, and I made the best use of content creation, I would say. And I made a lot of mistakes. I'm not telling I'm perfect, but I made the best use of it. And whatever I did today, this transition in the leadership landscape also helped me. That's what I'm trying to say here. So I'd like to, shoot a question to you guys. How many of you have posted something online and then immediately started checking your phones to see who has liked it? I think, almost everyone, right? I just wanted to ask this because whenever people say, whenever they say Gen Z is trying to get attention, Gen Z is all about attention, why is Gen Z like this? I would like to ask them a question. Have you ever posted a picture and have you pretended that you don't care about the picture, but you've secretly refreshed it 17 times under 5 minutes? See, now imagine this particular feeling. This particular feeling is not something which is occasional for us. This is a constant feeling. This is something which we undergo on a daily basis. And our thoughts, our emotions, our creativity, our success, failure, everything is lived in the public. Right? We want a lot of validation from the public just because we are in so much of pressure to show whatever we do in our life in a public forum. And when we do that, there's a lot of pressure that's being created around us. And this is the world my generation grew up in. This is the world of Gen Z. And this is the world Gen Alpha is about to lead. And going forward, previously, leadership used to come with a lot of titles. Before that, I'll ask you one more question. Have you posted something online and then deleted it after 5 minutes? Because, yeah, I see it. Because, that hesitation that happens, that confusion that happens before you hit the post button, that moment is a moment of leadership. I'll explain why. See, previously, leadership used to come with titles and positions. For us, who was a leader when we were young? It's a class leader. It's a house captain. It's a CEO. It's a person who owns big institutions. Only these people were called as leaders, and these people were listened to because it came with titles and positions. People only respect to these people with all these titles, right? But now, a random teenager recording videos from anywhere, even from their bedroom, it gets posted online and it's getting millions of attention. And it's sparking conversations across countries. Right? Now, when people start listening to you irrespective of positions and titles, leadership begins. But not everyone deserves to be a leader. That's not my point here. But this is where Gen Z comes in, and Gen Z says, we don't want distant leaders anymore. We don't want somebody sitting at the top and telling us. We want someone from our own world to represent us, our own struggles. See, leadership is not only for the people at the top. Leadership is for you and me. It's not, only if you want to start a company, you'll be a leader. It's not like that. Even if you want to get married, if you want to settle down, leadership is also there. You have to lead your family. You have to be a leader to your kids. Leadership is everywhere. That's why Gen Z says, Leadership can be imperfect in whatever field it is, for that matter. It can be imperfect and it can be chaotic. It's okay to be that way. Leadership can be imperfect. And it's trying to break that bubble of perfection, I would say. And when I started creating content, I did not have the perfect gear for it, or I did not have a perfect lighting setup or nothing as such. I did not even have a premium phone that people usually talk about to create content, right? I did not even have that premium phone. I had a basic one. And when I started this content creation, my fellow content creators, they had everything sorted. So what I did was I called my friend. She owns a DSLR. I asked her to come over, and she's also sitting here. And she came, and we rented lights, and we rented a studio space, and we created content. It was about something about a philosophical reel, and it got posted. And imagine, guess how many views it would have got. It was a perfect video. It was like really perfect. I only got 78 views for that video, which I spent almost all my savings on. That's how much I saved back then. So I spent everything on that first video, and everything went, and only 78 views. Half of it were my friends, and it was my mother. Nobody else. There were only hardly 4 to 5 comments in the comment section. And when I read it, there was one comment, no hate, no trolling, nothing. There was one comment which said, "It's fake." It hit me because, yeah, it's looking picture perfect. The video was perfect. People don't connect to perfection anymore. People connect to reality. People connect to real experiences. And my first viral video, it hit almost 8 million views. It was recorded on a basic phone, on a front camera. It was a basic lifestyle tip. And it just got shared, and I got a lot of followers, and I got a lot of confidence from that reel only. With whatever I had, I did my first viral video. So people connect with reality, more than anything. And moving forward, here's the problem. When I said, the minute people start listening to you, leadership begins. But are we listening to the right people? Are we listening? Are we consuming the right things? Are we creating the right things? Here the problem arises. There's a difference between intention and attention, right? Internet rewards attention, but leadership, it requires intention. The algorithm does not care if it's something is fake, if it's a rumor, if it's spreading negativity, nothing. But leadership, it asks questions. Leadership asks if it's true, if it's real, if it's helping the people, if it's helping the community. But there's a clear gap that's been created in our generation, and we should be even more considerate, because whatever we do is going to affect the generation that's coming forward, right? That's about to come. So whatever we do is going to create a lot of direct impact on them. So we should get more intentional, more responsible in whatever we do, in whatever we consume, in whatever we create. And now I would like to talk about 3 major trait shifts that happens in the landscape of leadership. First one is transparency. Like I've previously mentioned, previous generations were taught to hide their struggles. They were taught to hide their troubles, and they were not transparent about it. But now, Gen Z, they want to be open about it. They want to be open about their struggle. And if you see a real post online, you can see thousands of comments under it. Like, I can relate, I thought I was the only one in this, and all of these comments are under it. Because people connect to reality more than anything. They don't connect to perfection anymore. Because transparency builds trust. And trust is the basis of influence. And influence is the new age leadership. So when there's transparency, it builds a lot of trust with your own community, with your own people. And it's the most powerful form of leadership. And next one is adaptability. Gen Z's world changes overnight. It's like very fast, new apps, new trends, new technologies. Our world was so volatile. We have been through pandemics, and we do not resist change anymore. Previously, previous generations, even if there was a small software coming into their office, they used to resist it. They were scared about it. But now, We are inviting change because we are the ones creating change, right? We want the change to happen. We are excited about it. For the good, if it happens, we do not resist it. And moving forward, community over hierarchy. Previously, leadership used to look like a pyramid. The ideas used to flow from the top. But now, online communities, it works differently. Ideas spread sideways. There was a young intern boy. He was working in my team. I asked him to work on a digital video. I gave him all the strategies and everything. He was a part of the digital team. So he immediately refused, saying, no, this won't work. My age people won't relate to it. My ego got triggered a bit. I was like, no, see, I've done this before. I've been in this for so many years. But I didn't say it out loud. Low-key, I wanted his video, his strategy to fail, because that's when I can go say that, see, this is why you have to listen to your senior and everything. But unfortunately, not unfortunately, but yeah, his video worked, his strategy worked. That's when it hit me. Leadership is not about being the loudest person in the room anymore. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being able to empower your people, empower the persons in your room to speak up. You are creating a safe space for everybody to talk and for their opinions. Like everybody mentioned, leadership is about, respecting others' opinions and taking it into consideration. It's not about being, saying that I'm older to you, you have to listen to me, I hold 5 degrees. No, it's not about that anymore. And moving forward, this is the most important part. When we consider the aspect of Gen Alpha, we should understand that Gen Z is the first generation to experience leadership through influence. And Gen Alpha is the first generation to grow up inside it. They may not just use the internet, they will live in it, right? And whatever we do today, it's going to shape their world tomorrow. So we should not just ask, who is going to lead? We should ask, how are we going to lead? How intentionally are we going to do it? How responsibly are we going to do it? Because the next generation is literally watching us. The next generation is watching how we communicate, how we respond, and how we are creating, because they are not simply going to inherit whatever we give them. They are going to transform it. And the most powerful leaders of tomorrow, they won't just look perfect. They are the ones who will have the courage to look real in a world which often rewards appearances. They will have the courage to look real and to turn ideas into movements and create communities over hierarchies. And leadership is not about standing in front of the people anymore. Leadership is about standing with the people. And maybe, just maybe, the leaders who grew up online, we might bring the world even more connected, even more closer, more real. And we should get even more intentional and even more responsible in whatever we create for the upcoming generations to lead. Thank you so much, guys. It was wonderful. Thank you, PSG. Thank you, TEDx, for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.